Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. Now in today's video we're just going to be discussing, debating, talking about players who I think West Brom should sell this window. Now a lot of them are going to be obvious to you. I'm not going to go through every single player because I'm pretty sure that it'll be obvious which players we should keep after I've discussed the ones who I think we should sell. Now I'm going to start off with a bit of a debatable one what a few sources have actually said he is on the transfer list to be sold by Albion, but you never know. Now, the first one for me, Kieran Gibbs. I love Kieran Gibbs. I think he's a fantastic player. I think he's absolutely brilliant. I think he's had a lot of good times at West Brom. But for me, now it's time to move on from Kieran Gibbs, if I'm being completely honest. Very, very injury prone. It was one of those weird transfers as well, if you remember. We signed him from Arsenal, and if I can remember right, they wanted like 6 million for him and we ended up getting him for like 4 or something like that. It was absolutely crazy. It was one of those transfers where, you know, Albion went in and offered less than Arsenal even wanted originally, and then it got accepted. It was really, really weird. But, you know, Kieran Gibbs has been a brilliant player for us, but now I do think it's time for us to move on from him. He's getting on a bit, coming into his 30s, and, you know, he's just too injury prone, and we need someone. I think Connor Townsend was absolutely brilliant this season to, you know, cover Gibbs when he was out, and if not, better than him at times. And I do think that now we should move on from Kieran Gibbs. In terms of money for him, we should have really get around £3 or £4 million for him. I think he's a half decent player, and I think he could do a job somewhere else as well. But the only concern with him would be injury. Now, the next player for me, 100% needs to go, Oliver Burke. Where do you even start with this guy? £15 million we signed him from Leipzig, I believe, and he's just been an absolute flop ever since we signed him. He has been awful. He's contributed absolutely nothing to the team. He's had many managers who have just completely dismissed the fact that he wants game time. And whenever he has got game time, he's been so lacklustre, he's been so poor, and he just hasn't looked worthy of any game time, in my opinion. And it's going to be hard to get any money back for him. You're probably going to be lucky to get £2 million for him because, let's be real, he has been a massive flop. He is currently on loan to a Spanish league side. I'm not sure how he's done out there. I haven't really been following him, I'm not going to lie, but I just think that he's been absolutely awful ever since he's joined the Albion, and we're going to get nowhere near what we paid for him. Now, the next one is a bit of a debatable one, and it's Matt Phillips. Now, I know Matt Phillips has had a lot of fond memories with West Brom. He's scored some brilliant goals. He's contributed to the team a lot. But, again, I think it's, like Kieran Gibbs, I do think it's time to move on from him. I think that he could offer a lot to another team, but just not us in the Premier League. I just think, again, injury prone Matt Phillips is, and, you know, he hasn't really had a good season this season, in my opinion. Again, this one's a debatable one, so guys, let me know in the comment section what you think of that one. Do you think we should keep hold of Matt Phillips? I've heard that he's not on the transfer list. I'm not sure how true that is. But the next one you'll probably definitely 100% agree with, Kenneth Zaha. He needs to go. £8 million from Cardiff we paid for him. And he was just like one of those panic buys, I think. You know, he hadn't really done much for Cardiff when we'd signed him. A lot of fans expected him to come in, score a few goals in the Championship, but he hasn't really hit off, if I'm being honest with you. Slaven Bilic hasn't really favoured him. And again, we'll be lucky to get £2-3 million for him because I don't think he's that much of a good player. It's a shame to see a lot of money wasted. If you add up Oliver Burke and Zaha, there's like £20 million on. It's questionable, if I'm being honest, especially when you sign someone like Matheus Pereira for £8 million, and it's just quite questionable how you go from spending £8 million on a complete flop to £8 million on someone who's probably been one of our best players I've watched live. But now we're going to move on to players who I think we should loan out this season, and there's only a couple. For me, number one, Callum Morton. Now, he was absolutely exceptional for Northampton when he went, and he helped them win promotion. in the playoffs, I believe, and he was really, really good for them. I think Callum Morton definitely deserves to go out and get more game time. He has got a new deal, and I just think he's a good player, a good prospect for the future who needs to develop. Another couple of players, Sam Field, I believe that he should be sent out on loan, give him a bit more experience. He was on loan at Charlton with Jonathan Lecco, but I'm not sure what happened with him there, if I'm being honest with you. But again, Jonathan Lecco, another player who I do think should be loaned out this season, just so we can get a bit more game time. We've got other players like youngsters like Dan Meredith, Rico Richards, Sol Shotton. You know, we've got a lot of players who we could potentially loan out, but those are the three what really stand out for me. I do believe that players like Raheem Harper, hopefully, could get a bit of game time in cup games and stuff like that. So that's why I haven't added those guys onto the list. But guys, let me know in the comment section what you think. Have I missed anyone out? I could have potentially added Hal Robson-Kanu onto the list, but we're already lacking strikers. So maybe if we sign a couple of strikers and have him and Austin as backup, I'm not sure. But I didn't want to get rid of all our players. I just wanted to keep it quite limited and see what you guys think. But let me know in the comment section what you think, guys, and we'll see you in the next video.